All right, I've got to get my other recorder going. As you know, I screwed up. As you know, the system screwed up yesterday, and I didn't have good audio for a portion of it. I'm hoping to fix that today with this little recorder. Let's see here. I am recording here. I'm recording there. Let's see how this works out, see if I have full recording and sound. It's been one of those interesting January days where there's not a lot going on. It's January, it's cold, it's windy, nobody's out. The medical problems of the world today. So not a lot going on, and I'm looking for pictures, and I did find one that I thought would be at least something to have and get me started. Something I shot before, which was a couple of guys fishing just below the spillway on the Alum Creek Dam at Alum Creek Park North on West Main Street. So I parked my car and got out of the car, ran around to the trunk of my car, grabbed one camera around my neck, put one over my shoulder, turned around and looked. And both these guys are walking out of the water. They're leaving the creek. They quit fishing. I was a little upset that I had missed it, and I kind of remarked to them how disappointed I was in them, that they couldn't have waited another 2 minutes to let me get a picture. I'm an old school news photographer. It either happens or it doesn't happen. If I get it, I get it. You don't ask someone to go to set up something to do again what they've already done, especially for something silly like that. It's not going to happen. So, old school news guy, it happens or it doesn't happen. I get it. I don't get it. I didn't get it. But I stand there and talking to them a little bit and found out they were going to another fishing hole. So I followed them. That's where I came up with some pictures. We'll talk about that in a minute. But while I'm talking to these two guys, a car pulls up behind us and I hear, "Hey, Gary." And I turn around and look, and it's a photographer friend of mine, a fellow who used to work with me back in the AP days. He now works for a local newspaper. I'm not going to tell you his name. I don't think he'd be embarrassed for me talking about him, but I don't want to force embarrassment on him if he'd rather not be part of this. But local newspaper, local photographer, and he's out doing the very same thing I'm doing, which is looking for a good news picture, a good news feature on a really crappy January day. And we had the conversation I've had with you about how January is so bad, that there's nobody out doing anything, coupled with the medical difficulties of the day, and everybody staying inside, and it's really difficult to find photographs. For those of us who go out every day to look for good photographs, good news stories, good news pictures, good storytelling pictures, it's really difficult to do this in January. It's only the 8th of January, so I got a long January. I got a lot more to talk about before this ends. So I talked to this guy for a while. We went on our ways. I had told him about a couple of places I knew that might be something he could look at to find a photograph. He might be able to make it. He's a good photographer. If it's there, he'll find it, he'll shoot it. I followed the three fishermen up to where they were going to be going and got a couple of nice pictures of them. They didn't catch any fish at Alum Creek, and it was a little while before they found fish where they were going. But eventually they did. It wasn't anything great, but it was a nice little picture, which is approximately what it looks like on my iPhone. I did shoot with all my cameras, shot with the iPhone, shot with the small camera, shot with the big camera, made a bunch of different looking pictures. Didn't go out of my way. The background was cluttered, lots of trees, lots of buildings. I could have worked it really hard, but I would have had to interrupt their fishing, and I didn't want to interrupt the fishing any more than I had to. Just bad enough just to be there, to be in their face the whole time. That's okay. Made nice pictures. I'll share them with you. My final photo will be a fishing picture. It'll be below. And I'll include in another link some of the other pictures I shot, maybe some with both cameras. We'll wait and see which ones look best, which ones I like best. I'm going to go home now. I'm going to have leftovers for dinner. I had jambalaya, made homemade jambalaya last night. It was really good. I had shrimp and sausage, and it was really good. I'm going to have some leftovers. Couldn't eat it all last night. And then I'm going to sit down and relax, take off my shoes, do an edit on all of this, do an edit on that, do an edit on this, make it all look good. Link it down below. Do all those YouTube things. Subscribe and like and comment and share. Sooner the better. I'm growing this long beard till I get 100. You don't want me to keep growing this long beard. I don't want to keep growing this long beard. Get me subscribed up to 100, then we'll set another thing to do to get me up to the next 100 or next 200 or next 1,000 or next 20 million, whatever's going to happen, we'll start doing things to make all that happen. I'm done here now. I'll be back in a minute. Tomorrow. Thanks, folks. How's that? Like that? Oh, that's going to be a good picture. Oh, drop my phone.